Despite the fact that Playdate with Winnie the Pooh is a Disney production, Disney Junior, it kind of feels like what the future of Winnie the Pooh might look like now that it's largely out of copyright. There are two ways of looking at this. One, reviewing it from the perspective of a Disney Pooh Bear fan, and two, looking at it as an entity in its own right, because it doesn't sound like Winnie the Pooh. This has a much more childlike quality to the voice acting, largely because I think the voice actors are either children or people doing children's voices. I actually don't have that much information about any of this, let alone this first episode, Piglet and the Tricycle, because it's very new and I can't find any information online. It's on Disney Junior's YouTube channel. There's not much in the description, so if anybody can confirm who the voice actors are, please let me know. The voice acting is very good, but it's not the voices of Winnie the Pooh and Piglet. So that is a little bit difficult to get over. So if you're a Disney Pooh Bear fan, you might find it a bit awkward at first because it's not sounding the way one would expect. And that's why I think it very much feels like what the future of Pooh Bear might look like when other companies start doing animated versions of Winnie the Pooh, obviously not using, for example, Jim Cummings and other iconic voice actors. But to judge it on its own, it's pretty fabulous. Piglet and the Tricycle is about 2 minutes, and the animation quality is stunning. Pooh Bear and Piglet look very cute and squishy, but I love, more than that, the backgrounds. There's some gorgeous detail. The colour palettes are absolutely beautiful to look at. We have luscious green grass. We have this kind of tree house in the background, and I hope we get to see a bit more of that in the future episodes. And this episode focuses on Piglet learning to ride a tricycle. There's also an opportunity to count to 3 as we count the wheels of the tricycle, and that can obviously help children to understand try, meaning 3. And then there's this fabulous song about learning to ride a tricycle, and if you don't succeed, try again, which is always a really great message. And honestly, it packs quite a lot into those 2 minutes. It's really nice to have Pooh Bear and Piglet together. We obviously get a good sense of their friendship. I think the animation quality is beautiful. It's educational. It's inspirational. I imagine, I don't remember going on a tricycle for the first time, but I imagine it can be quite daunting to be in control of something like that with pedals for the first time. And I think it can help some children to learn about what a tricycle is, encourage them to have a go at riding it. And if they don't succeed, as Piglet sings, try again. Try, tricycle, which I thought was very catchy. So on its own, Playdate with Winnie the Pooh, based purely on this first episode, is sweet, it's adorable, it's fun, it's educational, it's engaging. Comparing it to other Disney Winnie the Poohs, it's a bit awkward because the voice, it's difficult to get used to a different voice coming out of Winnie the Pooh's body. But it helps to pave the way for non-Disney Winnie the Poohs, I guess, which on the one hand, curious about. I have seen Blood and Honey, but that's a completely different discussion. But in terms of other animations, it's going to be very interesting. But for me, I wish Disney had 100% of the copyright. I absolutely do. But this just goes to show that even if they do have the ability to make more Winnie the Pooh shows, things change. It's not always going to be the same voice actors, which is on the one hand a shame, but maybe it's paving the way for the next generation of Winnie the Pooh Bear fans. Either way, Piglet and the Tricycle is a pretty sweet start to Playdate with Winnie the Pooh.